Okay, this video is gonna be titled. Yeah, we're gonna let the car pass. This book is this video gonna be titled "Having Proper Etiquette at a Funeral." And I'm reading out of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. This one is translated, as you can see, by Francesca Fremantle and Chogyam Trungpa. Tibetan Book of the Dead. They also have an Egyptian Book of the Dead. These are all melanated beings that created these standpoints. But if you look close, let me get the see. There's the melanated deity and his consort. So you see, this all come from melanated people, or what they like to call, or put you in a category as black people, or so-called African American people. That's just a category. You have to be taken from somewhere, or you know what I'm saying. They saying you have to be taken somewhere and be placed here. So you're both just from one continent to another, which is not true. We've been everywhere, as you can see. Tibet is in Asia. Our people are everywhere. Melanated people are everywhere. So don't believe the hype at all. Whatever they give to you, you have to question it. And once you question it and you feel like that's not right, go figure it out and go get the information for yourself. I'm doing it my damn self too. So you can't really accept everything everybody give you. So if they trying to give you something, okay, either tell them to prove it or you go find out for yourself. And then you'll have that information, or that confirmation from information for yourself. But remember, uh, the Nazis went to Tibet, and they got most and all of their Tibetan, or their occult knowledge, um, from Tibet. So, and that's where melanated people was. So, atomic bomb. Hitler was a master. And he was mastering um, cloning, and also the atomic bomb. So, in atomic, melanin, carbon, atoms, it all combines. So you can't just rule it out. I mean, he was on to something, and the British and American government and the French were against what he was trying to do because, well, I have my, well, not my reasons, but through listening to being some lectures, coming to find out, um, he was spiritually overtaken by certain deities. That's why he damn near wiped out Europe. But things will make sense soon. Okay. But anyway, back on subject. Proper etiquette at a funeral. Oh, you know what? Before I go on to that, I just brought up the whole Nazi thing. With, their occult information or their occult knowledge. So show and prove. I read the introduction to the book, but I haven't gotten into it yet. So it's coming soon though. But I'm gonna show you. All right, I can show and prove. The Spear of Destiny. Okay, this book was written by Trevor Ravenscroft. From what it has some great pictures inside of it too. It's the occult power behind the spear which pierced the side of Christ, and how Hitler inverted the force in a bid to conquer the world. And also, you should be able to find the book from the title, but the publishing company is by Weiser. So you see that's by Weiser. Sometimes they have pretty good books, but you got, things will come to you how they're supposed to come to you. So when you're going looking for them, just get your grab the information, and by the time you get to it, it all makes sense when it's time to get to it. Okay, back to it. Having good etiquette at a funeral. I was, this is back to the book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Okay, here we go. This is the part I was reading. Okay, let me just get to the part I was that I had highlighted, but actually I'm going to read above it, leading into it. Therefore, one should approach all who have died, and if the corpse is present, a friend should read this reminder again and again until blood and pus come out of the nostrils. Meanwhile, the corpse should remain undisturbed. You hear that? No beating on the casket, jumping in the casket with the jumping in the casket with the loved one you just lost. You know what I'm saying? Don't do all of that, man. You disturbing that soul, even though it's not in the body, it's being released. It still hovers or until it's time, like it's been released, time to be released. The observances for this are: animals should not be sacrificed for dedication to the dead person. Now read between the lines if you understand that. When you go to funerals, people are like, oh man, the best chicken be the funeral chicken. Once you get out of that funeral, man, that fried chicken be the best. I mean, it's saying don't. It's what it's saying right here. It's saying animals should not be sacrificed for dedication to the dead person. So whatever it is, try not to eat any meat afterwards. You know how they say that'd be the best food afterwards. So don't eat any meat afterwards. It's damn near like you disrespecting the person. In the presence of the corpse, friends. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go to the part I read earlier, and I said I needed to go back to it and check it out, but this popped up again, so I'll find it. I'm gonna go right to it right now. Okay, I just went back and found it. As you can see, this is page 122 of the book. If you are going to be born in a higher realm at the time when experiences of the higher realms occur, your relatives, see that, like relatives, friends, loved ones, relatives or friends or loved ones, your relatives in the place you have left are sacrificing many animals dedicated to for the sake of the dead. So impure thoughts will arise in you, and you will feel violent anger, which will cause you to be born as a hell being. So whatever is done in the place you have left, do not get angry, but meditate on kindness while you are making your transition. So, back to where I was at before. Now we're on 145. So I'm going to go back to the part that's highlighted. Meanwhile, the corpse should remain undisturbed. The observances for this are animals should not be sacrificed for dedication to the dead person. So as I just read, pretty much y'all should be eating fruits and vegetables, because like they say, like having eating like animals, they have blood in their system that can cause negative reaction or negative feelings. So if you have a negative feelings, and everybody that thinks while they're eating afterwards, after being around the body, then the person the person that you love for that funeral hasn't fully transitioned. So if you still think about that person, you still might have negative thoughts while you're eating, and then those negative thoughts can transition to that person, and you damn near making them into a hell being. They'll come back to a person that's in their family, and you don't understand why this certain child is acting up like this, but they're just another person that you damn near put that on because you had those ideas from the food you had ate at the funeral, which I never thought, but I was so I don't. When I was just eating fruits and vegetables and shit and learning how to cook with them for like a year and a half, I was learning that you really don't. There's really no blood inside of it, but cytoplasm inside. That's like the blood for fruits and vegetables, but it really don't really have too much fear inside of it. People say they have fear when you get ready to cut their limbs or take off the fruits or something, but it's very on the line about that, because I really don't feel that way, because I didn't feel that way when I was eating fruits and vegetables. But I eat meat sometimes. It don't matter. Like you eat what you want, but fruits and vegetables, like I felt a big difference when I was doing that. So back to the passage here. It's saying animals should not be sacrificed for dedication to the dead person. So regardless of eating or if you're doing any type of ritual, it should not happen. This is an old text by our melanated people from thousands of years ago. So they pretty much knew this, but we forget this over time, being in a different society around different people. In the presence of a corpse, friends and relations should not weep and mourn and make a noise. So I've come to find out too, and from what was it, from actually from Bobby Hemmett, not to cry transitioning. But the funny thing is, before I even knew anything about Bobby Hemmett, when my big mama my big mama passed, it's pretty much my grandmother. When she passed, I didn't cry for some reason. I was like, I'm not gonna cry because she's inside me. A bird just flew right over me right just now. It's just, it's just good energy. But I told myself I was not gonna cry. I was right at work, and I got the call. My big mama had passed, and on the phone, and I just sat there. I was at work, like my first day at work there, and I was just sitting there. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I was like, man, I already kind of knew she was kind of getting ready to transition already, but at the same time, I was like, I loved her, so I just think about all the good times, think about all the times we had, not just the good times, but everything. Because when you get through something bad, it's still a triumph because you're making it through something that could have either destroyed you or could have changed your outlook on something. But if you make it past it, it's still a good way to make it out of something. So, let's see. Animals should not be sacrificed for dedication to the dead person. In the presence of the corpse, friends and relations should not weep and mourn and make a noise, which may be done elsewhere, and as many acts of virtue as possible should be done. So, like, think about, like they say, at funerals, like, try to think about the good times, because thinking about the good times keep everything, it keep them in good balance or good standings with the person, because you're thinking about all the times you had him before. Now you can't cry like, oh, this person isn't here, because you're damn near pulling on their soul where they're supposed to go, and you're pulling them back to this third dimension or to this earth plane, and they can't get where they need to go because we're being selfish, because their spirit or their energy is not in their physical body. So we're used to seeing people's faces and how they act or whatever, and we react because we're gonna miss them. But hold that up, or wait, like it says in this book, which may be done elsewhere, as many acts of virtue as possible should be done. Just pretty much thinking about the good times or thinking about the person. And that's just like, you play somebody's music like Marvin Gaye, Jimi Hendrix, Tupac Shakur, a lot of people. Who else? I can think of somebody else. Nina Simone. Any artist that has passed, you damn near you pretty much keep them alive with their music. When you play it and they've passed from this physical form, you listen to their music. You breathe in life through your mind, through the sounds. Regardless, it might not be wax. You know what I'm saying? It might not be wax, or like some people, it was like, oh, what is this? These are records, actual records. A lot of people wouldn't know, the children wouldn't know what it is, but that's the best type of music to listen to, or the best format of music to listen to. But if you still have some CDs, try to get an equalizer or the best sounds for it, because it'll come out better, and you can alchemically use that music to actually heal you or make you feel a certain way if you want. So yeah, but anyway, I'm not trying to go on and on, but that's something I learned. So this video is pretty much called how to act, proper etiquette at a funeral. All right, peace.